Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's been a hot minute since I posted and I know that. We caught the COVID in our house. Yes, just a couple weeks before Christmas, we had to postpone Christmas, cancel our party. 2021 ended as it started. It sucked. So I am looking forward to it now being 2022. It's a whole new year, a new clean slate, and I find that very exciting. You may notice the name of the channel has changed. I promise it will not be changing again. I think this is more fitting because I'm making some changes in 2022. I am going to be sharing with you guys everything. Cooking, crafts, DIY, room makeovers, organization techniques, landscaping, gardening. Those are things that I am in my element with. So I am going to share that all with you. Right now I'm making breakfast for my chickens. But when that is done, I am super excited because January is Canuary. Canuary 2022. And I know there's not a lot of things that you can can in the wintertime. Usually that's the time when you get to take it off and relax a little bit, catch up, get yourself ready for what's coming in the spring and everything that entails. But I like to can potatoes. Potatoes, potatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. Say it whichever way you want. I swear there is nothing like it. So let me get these chickens taken care of, get them all out into their run, and I'll be back and we will start our Canuary 22 kickoff. Again, welcome back to my channel. I am so glad you guys are here. Before we even get going, please hit the like button down below. You're definitely going to want to subscribe to this channel because 2022 is going to be a phenomenal year for us. I am going to share so much with you guys. I am going to teach you everything that I know, and I hope you teach me everything that you know by leaving comments. That's how we evolve and learn in life. So I'm super excited. Now, I mentioned Canuary 2022. Again, most people stop canning in the wintertime. They kind of catch up for what's coming in the spring, but I am new to canning. Just started it this past year, and I haven't canned a whole lot. But one of the things that I did can was my husband brought home 20 pounds of russet potatoes a while back. They were on sale, great price. It's just him and I in this great big house. Yes, our children come over and the grandchildren are here, but it's mostly just us for dinner. So 20 pounds of potatoes is a lot for us, and I didn't want them to go bad. So I was watching Pam from Red Rose Homestead. I just love her. She's an amazing canner. If you want to learn how to can, watch her. She'll teach you everything. And she was doing potatoes, however you want to say it. And she canned them. And I thought, well, geez, that's a good idea. And she was saying, just the ease of they're already cooked. You can grab them off the shelf when you have no time. Boom, you can make mashed potatoes or whatever you want to do with them. You can cube them, you can slice them, you can can them any way you want. So she did hers in chunks, and I did mine in chunks as well. I did nothing to these potatoes. I believe there's actually a video of me doing the potatoes. But I did nothing to these potatoes except for add salt to the jars before I canned them. When I started using these potatoes, oh my God, they were so good. I literally cannot explain what the pressure canning does to them, but it alters the flavor in the most amazing way. Everybody thought I was nuts. What are you canning potatoes for? Well, they've all taken a jar home and I have none anymore, and they're asking for more because they are the best damn potatoes. What else can you expect in 2022 from me? Well, like I said, we're gonna do some crafts, we're gonna do some DIY, we're gonna do some room makeovers, we're gonna do some sewing, definitely gonna do some cooking and preserving, freezer meals, gardening, landscaping. Also, you all know that I have my chickens, the Ladies of London they're called, and they live in what's called Cluckingham Palace. Only Cluckingham Palace kind of looks more like a crack shack at this point in time. It hasn't been done. It will be. I have super plans for it, and this spring it's going to be amazing. So I'm going to take you on that journey with me and show you how I'm going to turn an ice fishing hut into their amazing, beautiful chicken house. It's nice. I like it. It's nice and big. I can add more chickens to it, but the things I'm going to do to it are so amazing. I am super excited for that. Some more chickens to the mix this year. I currently have 6 hens. I would like to get 6 more. I definitely can fit that in the coop. I am going to build an enclosed run around that coop. Currently, we don't have that. We have a separate run. So I put the ladies to bed every day and I wake them up every day and they follow me. They go into their run in the morning. They go into their coop at night. They have a routine and they stick to it. You'll probably meet the hubby. I'm going to try to get him involved in some of this because he has some great ideas and he's such a help with everything. Now, I am wife number 3 to my husband. 3rd time's the charm. Woo! It's my 2nd marriage. My husband is a lot older than me, and he's an amazing, amazing man. He takes amazing care of me. So I think it is my duty to give him an amazing home and to give him amazing meals and just an amazing life to the best of my capabilities because I am unintentionally now a stay-at-home Nana. I do have my cake business. It does very well, but I am now a stay-at-home Nana. And this house has been my husband's house since he was little. He's lived here forever. He bought it from his parents. It's a gorgeous, giant house that we live in. But it's kind of dated, and there's bits and pieces of wife 1 and wife 2 and a couple girlfriends through the years that have lived here, and they gots to go. You know what I'm saying? It's not for me. I used to own an interior decorating company. You didn't know that, did you? Yes, I did. It was called Subtle Changes Interiors, and it was pretty successful. The reason that it stopped is because I got arthritis in my hands. The same reason I stopped cutting hair. Rheumatoid arthritis is not fun, and it really makes it difficult to maintain and do things on a constant daily basis, the same things over and over. My hands won't do them anymore. But I can do them in smaller scales. I can do them for myself. I can do them as I can and not just full of this. 2022 is a year of not looking back. It's moving forward and only forward because that's what's going to make me a better person for myself and my husband and my grandchildren and my friends and just what I want. So I am super excited to share with you what we're going to share in 2022. And we're going to start today very simply. I am going to teach you how to can potatoes. Game changer. Simple, but a game changer. And I really hope you all follow suit with that. So, without further ado, yep, come on. Let's do this. I'll meet you in the kitchen. All right, so I got my bags of russet potatoes, and basically what I'm just doing right now is I am just peeling them. I like to peel them directly into my sink and pick up the mess after for my compost pile. I do not give these to my chickens because, as you can see, it's like a greenish potato that is not good for them. So the chickens will not be partaking in any of the skin. But the compost pile will enjoy it. And then what I'm also doing is I am putting them in a pan of water that I actually have this amazing colander in, which I love. And then once I have all of these potatoes done, we are going to cut them up into 1-inch cubes, and I'm going to boil them only for 5 minutes. I am not boiling the potatoes to cook them. I am actually boiling them to remove the starch from the potato. You don't have to do this. It'll just make your jars cloudier inside. They will be a little cloudy still doing this, but it's not as bad as if I didn't do it. So I like to do it 5 minutes. That's it. Pull them out. Done. So let me get back to this. Get this done. And we'll move on to step 2. All right, we got 1 bag peeled, and I want to see how much room I have left in this pan, because I might have to do 2 batches because I just don't feel like going upstairs and busting out a really big pan to do this. So I got 1 pan. Let me see where we're at for this. Now, the USDA recommends that you make your potato chunks about 1 inch. So I want to show you how I cut mine. Real easy. Down the middle, turn it on its side, go down the middle again, and then 1-inch chunks. And please, if you have to separate them to get the 1-inch chunks, do it. Because potatoes are super, super sticky, but they will also slide once they're stuck together. They will move, and you could potentially cut yourself really bad. So just be super careful with wet potatoes. Down the middle. Probably better to just separate them. Go down the middle again. See, it sticks. Exactly what I was saying. And if you're going fast and not paying attention, you're gonna hurt yourself. 1-inch chunks. I'll just get the rest of these done and see how many more I can add to this pan of water to get going. So my husband will be so happy. He has been asking, did you do them yet? Did you do them yet? Did you do them yet? And I might try something different this time. I'm thinking instead of plain potatoes, I might add a little flavor to 1 or 2 of the jars. We'll see. So let me get back to this, and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so all the potatoes are peeled. I did need to get a little smaller pan because I just didn't feel like busting out the great big one to clean. But I have 10 pounds of potatoes. Again, these are russet potatoes. If you were going to use any other kind, like a yellow Yukon or a white potato, you don't have to do this to them. In fact, if you do this to them and then process them for 40 minutes in a pressure canner, they're gonna turn to mush and just be mashed potatoes anyways. So I do this for russets. You could just soak the other potatoes in a nice cold water bath to get the starch out and change the water a few times. But yeah, don't cook anything that's not a very hearty potato like the russet is. So we're just gonna get this going for 5 minutes. That's it, 5 minutes, coming off the stove, and they're gonna go in the jars. So while this is getting up to temp, I am going to go get my jars and everything that I need ready. I'll meet you back here in a minute. Okay, our jars are hot from the oven. I've had them in the oven at like 230. They're incredibly hot, so don't try to pick them up with your hand. That ain't gonna work too good for you. My potatoes are done. My water is boiled. My seasonings are over here, and we're gonna get going. So the first thing I'm gonna do is take a jar, need a measurer. I am going to grab a teaspoon measurer, And what I'm going to do is put a teaspoon of salt in my jars. I am also going to put a teaspoon of parsley. And I'm using quart jars because that's a good size for us. And then what I'm gonna do is I am gonna separate these two jars, and I'm also going to add some garlic powder to just two of them. And I will mark them so I know what is what, so there is no surprises. But you can put any seasonings that you want in here. It honestly does not matter. So I've got my seasonings in. Let's add our potatoes. Again, I am just loving this little ladle that came with my Instapot. It is so handy for stuff like this. Jars are hot. We're gonna fill this up to about 1 inch for headspace. That is hot. I keep telling you guys don't do it, and I do it, so do as I say, not as I do. Okay, get that in there. I'm just gonna add literally just a couple more potatoes. Now, we're gonna get our hot water. We're just gonna pour that in. Again, to the 1 inch headspace. And then we're going to remove the air bubbles, which is incredibly important. And you can see the air bubbles just rising. This gets everything out of there. Perfect. Take a lid. No, we don't want to put the lid on first. See, almost forgot a step. You have to wipe your jars with vinegar. I always almost forget this because you do not want any food particles anywhere there that can hurt your seal. Now we're going to put the lid on, and we are going to just do the finger tight. That's it, finger tight. All of my seasonings, as you can see, let me hold this up. You can see the potatoes, my seasonings. You can mix it up if you want. It doesn't matter at all. It will do that while it's cooking. But this is one jar ready. So now let me just get the other two going. Hot jar, hot jar. Potatoes are stuck. Just gonna put in 3 more little ones. Hot water. Again, just to that 1 inch headspace. Get your bubbles out. Very important. You can see the bubbles coming up from this. So, I've got that. We'll do a little wipe of the vinegar again. Perfect. Nice lid. Finger tight. There we go. And I'm just gonna get the rest of them done. Push those potatoes down. You want to get it a nice full amount in there. I think we're just going to add 2 more little ones. Should be good. One-inch headspace. Like the rim, really good. You'll love it when 2 stick to 1. Such is life. Finger tight. Just gonna get all that seasoning. There we go. Nice and through. Now these are the last 2 that actually have the garlic in it. So once I get the lid on them, I'm just gonna put a little dot so that I know that those have garlic in them. Get the collar on. Little G for garlic. And I actually think I'm gonna need to grab another jar because I think we're gonna do 6 or 7. So let me get all this done and we'll be right back. Okay, so I ended up getting 3 garlic potatoes and 3 regular flavored potatoes. So that's 6 quarts that I'm going to put into my Presto pressure canner. But what I'm first going to do is I'm going to take the rest of my vinegar that I used to clean the jar rims, and I'm going to also dump that right into my canner. Basically what that does is it helps if you have hard water. It won't put all these water stains on the outside of your jars and look yucky. It just keeps it fresher and cleaner, so I like doing that. So I'm going to transfer these jars into the pressure canner. And if you remember, I do my canning outside because it doesn't fit on my stove. So let me get these in and I'll meet you out on the deck. Okay, my canner is on the burner. And I'm just gonna let it create the steam inside. The top is on, it's locked. It is so cold outside right now. And you can smell snow, which I love. But I'm out of breath. Okay, so again, it's on the burner. I'm just gonna wait. What we are looking for is basically for this to get back up to temperature. You're gonna start to see steam come out of this nipple. And we wanna see a constant, steady stream of steam. Not like smoke signals. You wanna see psh coming out of it. Once you see that, you give it 10 minutes. Then you're gonna put your weight in. My PSI for canning, I'm near Cape Cod, Massachusetts, is 11. It's a very tricky number to stay at or near. You will have to change up your temperature and keep playing with it. It's okay if it goes above the 11. It's not okay if it drops below 11. If it drops below 11, you have to start your timer all over again. So it's very important. Keep an eye on it. Let it get up. Keep regulating it. Especially since it's outside. I go back and forth to make sure everything is good. My husband added this great little windshield around our awning for our grill. So this is perfect. I'm just going to wait. Once we see that, I'll bring you back so you can see what it is. And then we'll start our process for timing once it gets up to temperature. Just because you've done it for 10 minutes and you put your weight on does not mean you start your 40-minute countdown then. You start that once your gauge reads your PSI. For me, that's 11. So I'll bring you back when all that happens. While I'm thinking of it, there's one more thing you want to show you. This nipple right here will pop up when pressure has built up in there once you get your weight on. So these are all safeties. This is not your mama's pressure canner. Actually, it's my kid's mama's pressure canner. But there are certain safeguards. Don't be afraid of this machine. I was so intimidated by it, and now I'm just like, hey, what can I can? Just don't do what I did. I canned up, I don't know how many pounds of chili, and I did it wrong. Threw it all away. Wasn't chancing it. It just, yeah, there are reasons the USDA recommends certain things and not others. So please make sure you follow those directions unless you are completely experienced, been canning for a million bazillion years, and you're a rebel canner and you know what you're doing. I'm not. I don't. I'm learning. See the steam coming up. But that's a smoke signal. That is not steady. I want to see that going psh. So once it does that, we'll be right back. Okay, this is what the steady stream looks like. And I know it does break off here and there, but that's because we are out in the wind. But it's coming out of there. I'm actually going to give it like another minute to go. Make sure it's going nice and good. And then I'm definitely going to set the timer for 10 minutes. Once I've done that, I'll bring you back. We'll put the weight on and wait for it to get to pressure. It does take a hot minute to get to pressure. It's not an instant thing. If you think it's going to happen in 60 seconds, guess again. If you think it's going to happen in 90 seconds, guess again. It's going to happen when it wants to happen. And for mine, I mean, it felt like 10 years, but it was probably more like, I don't know, a couple minutes anyways. It did take a few minutes. So I'm going to let this grill for another minute, stop my 10, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, we have less than a minute left. As you can see, it's venting really good. This vent in the front, that's actually a nipple that once I put the weight on, it's going to pop up and it's going to hold the pressure in there. And that's how it pressurizes itself. You still have to keep an eye on it. I have turned the heat down a little bit to see if I will be able to regulate this right around 11, 12, 13. I'd be happy with that. So The timer just went off. So now I am going to take our weight and I am going to put it right over that. If you keep watching, it's going to take just a few minutes, and then that nipple is going to pop right up. And there it goes. You can see that'll bring it in. So that's sealed. Our weight is on, and now we're going to watch our gauge for it to get up to 11, 12 is ideally where I want it. Again, that does take a few minutes for it to happen, so don't think it's broken if it's not happening instantly for you. It's not an instant process, which sucks for me because I'm kind of an instant gratification girl, but you have to learn patience a little bit to do things like this. It hasn't even moved. It's still on dead flat 0. And again, you need to know what your elevation is so that you can determine your PSI. Mine is 11. I am near Cape Cod, Massachusetts. I think we're only like 140 feet above sea level. I mean, like the ocean's right over there. Not really, but it's that way. And it needs to be at 11 for me, not 10 and a half, not 10 and 3/4, not 10.99999. No, it needs to be at 11. Say it with me. It needs to be at your pressure, not below. Higher is okay, lower is not. You can't do it. The USDA has strict guidelines and regulations that really is smart to follow, because you can't smell botulism, you can't see botulism. Sometimes I guess you can't taste that it's botulism. I've never eaten it, so I wouldn't know. I'm trying to keep it that way. So we're just letting it build up its pressure in here. Gauge is still dead flat at 0. It's going to take a little bit for it to happen. When it does, I will bring you back. We'll start our countdown for 40 minutes, which is all we need to do potatoes, and we'll be done. It has been about 5 minutes, and we are at like almost 7. We're getting there. Just not there yet. Told you it's not broken. It just takes a few minutes. Patience is a virtue. So while we're waiting these last few pressures to move up, what are some things that you love to can? If you and I were face to face having a conversation about canning, what is something you would tell me to try to can? Put that in the comment below. I would love to read that, because I am down for trying all kinds of things. I am a picky eater, but I am going to make 2022 the year of me trying things, new things. I still may not eat fish, but we'll have to see. I eat some seafood. I just haven't found a fish I like. I don't know. Maybe I just haven't had the right one. But what is like your go-to things that you can? What are things that are on your stockpile shelves? I would love to know that as well. I'm just starting out. I literally have jelly, bruschetta, and caramel and green beans. I'll have potatoes today. I am going to can some meat. That is coming up. That'll be fabulous. We will share and film that with you as well. But what are your staples? Teach me something. I would love that. So we are super close now. We're at 10. We need to get to 11 so we can start our 40-minute countdown. Not a minute before it reaches that, will we start. It has to be at 11 or higher to start. And personally, I wait for it to just creep just a little bit past 11, and then I start. And we are actually getting there now. So this is another thing that we're going to share with you this year, is our deck and how we set it up. We do a lot of summer parties. I love to throw a party, so you're going to see plenty of them happening. And It's all about the design and the look. Details are so important to me, and if I can do it on a dime, that's even better. That excites me beyond anything. My husband's pretty happy with it too, but I love a bargain. Just because you have money doesn't mean you want to spend it. So we are hitting 11 right now. Again, I just want it to creep just a teeny bit more, and then I'll start my 40 minutes. Okay, we are there. The countdown has begun. Now I am going to turn my heat down. And this is not a formula I can give you. Everybody is different. You have to play with it up and down because this temperature will keep rising, which I don't want. Like right now we're already at 12. So I've turned it down and I want to maintain it at 11, 12 without it going much higher. See, it's already starting to go past the 12. So I have it turned down and now I need to watch it to make sure it doesn't drop below 11 because that would be a problem. So I'm hoping that I might have the timing right this time. The first time was a total learning curve. It's only my second time. This is again another learning curve, but I did turn my heat down. So I'm hoping it'll just ride right here. And I'm going to watch this. I'm not just going to go in the house with Rosie and be like, okay, wait for 40 minutes to sound off. No, I'm going to keep watching it. I can see my dial from my door actually, and I know where each one is, like kind of like a clock shape that I can look at and go, okay, wait, that's getting too high. So I'm gonna watch it, but I'm actually super excited right now because I turned it down and it's really holding. It hasn't gone any higher, which is super good because it does climb little by little. So all right, our 40 minutes is going. So yeah, I love to entertain. This is our entertaining space. I know it doesn't do it justice. We also have an upper deck up there. Big plans for that. Don't mind the wood pile. We live in New England. But this entire yard, this gorgeous, big, huge ass yard that I have, has my husband's beloved Kentucky bluegrass. So I cannot garden on the grass. I can't dig it up. I don't blame him. He's spent a lot of time and a lot of money. Our grass is beautiful in the spring and summer. You'll see for parties. But there is a spot on the other side of the pool over there that's all a concrete platform, and I think it would actually be perfect for some raised beds. So that's where my garden's going to go. And then eventually, see all those pine trees way out there? See, we're on 5 acres. Like, this is all ours. All of this is that's Cluckingham Palace. That's the top of the run. Our property goes and goes. There's a barn. That roof right there, that peak is a barn. So I have a big barn over there too. But this is all our property that I have super big plans for. And I definitely want you guys to come along for the ride with this. So please make sure you like and subscribe. Just hit that little bell. You'll never miss anything, which I can promise you, you are not going to want to miss what I'm going to bring to the table for 2022. It's going to be so much fun. We are just going to have a blast. So it's gone up a little bit to 13, but I mean, I really can't put it down too much more. I just did. I want to see what that does. My timer is still going. Remember, anything above is acceptable. Anything below, start again. Game over. So 40 minutes. I will keep checking it, and I'll bring you back when we're done and show you the final result. Okay, so I keep coming out to check it. My temperature is down as low as it can go. Starting to like pull it a little bit off of the heat. I am at 15. I can't get it any lower. It's frustrating, but at least I know it's fine. And for some reason it smells so good. Not for some reason. You can smell the garlic and the herbs actually. being forced out from what little bit of steam does come out of the pressure canner. It smells delicious. I can't wait. But I just wanted to let you know that it is okay. If it's above, it's okay. Below, no go. Up, good to go. So just remember that. Below, no go. Okay, our timer has gone off. Our 40 minutes is done. I have shut my burner off. You can still hear it. It's still like bubbling and stuff in there. The nipple is still up. I'm going to leave this. I'm going to let it naturally depressurize to itself. And what I want to see is my gauge to 0, my nipple down, and nothing coming out of there. When that happens, I'm going to remove the weight to make sure. I'm going to unlock my machine and I'm going to open it away from my face. Say that with me. Open it away from your face. So we'll just let this do its little thing, finish up, cool down, depressurize, and then we'll be back to take them out. Okay, well, it's still hot. Pressure's to 0. I removed my weight. No steam is coming out. The nipple in the front has gone down. So we're gonna open it, and we're going to open it away from our face. Oh, it smells so good. Let's put this over here. And let me get my jar remover. And there you have it. It's still boiling. I keep hitting my light. Let me... You gotta set these out to cool a little bit. So, I have 6 jars and I'm just not sure if they'll all... It smells amazing. You can smell a little bit of everything happening in here. But I kind of think it might smell good too from the last time I canned. I'm not sure. And perfect. Okay, potatoes are done. They're out of the pan. Look at that. They're still boiling. You can see that. Oh, do you hear that? They're popping. I just love that sound. You can see that they're still in nice form. They're not mush. Again, that's because these are russet and I didn't cook them. My water, it's pretty clear. There is a little seepage from that one, which is totally fine. You don't have to worry about that at all. And look at that. How delicious is that? What do you think, Rosie?
It looks beautiful.
They look beautiful. Do you like those potatoes? Are we going to eat them sometime?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are they pretty with all the herbs in there?
Mm-hmm.
My little helper. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
You're going to help Nana this year with her garden and her canning? in all of her craft projects. Yeah, you're gonna be my helper and help with the chickens. She's such a good helper. Say bye.
Bye.
So there you have it. Canned potatoes. They taste amazing. If you have never canned a potato, you have to try this. I'm not even kidding. It is so good. It's a game changer. Just look at that. All right, well, I'm going to dip up out of here now. Go play with my Rosie, clean up a little bit. Before I go, I want to remind you to please hit that like button. Definitely hit that bell to subscribe to my channel, because you really aren't going to want to miss anything that I'm going to bring to the table in 2022. And that's a promise.